We have a very rich and active veterans community in Prince William County, and we need to honor the sacrifices. We need to honor what they have done for our country. Many people in my family, including my father, have served in the military. Most of them are Army, so I have a little bit of a soft spot for our Army veterans. But they were all proud to have served our country. They were all proud to have been a part of ensuring our democracy. I don't think enough people realize how hard it is to serve in the military. The sacrifices that are made, the birthdays that are missed. Our veterans have put into a lot into defending our democracy and ensuring that Americans are safe. We owe them gratitude. We owe them thanks. Not just on Veterans Day. I think Veterans Day is a reminder, it's a special day, but we should be grateful every day for the people who serve.
Veterans Day means to me, it's a day where we honor those who have sacrificed a part of their life in service to our nation. Having served for over 21 years in the Navy, Veterans Day is a very special day for me, for my family. Having served with veterans in Iraq and other parts of the world, I know the sacrifice that many have made. Prince William County is the home to over 45,000 veterans. And it is this group of veterans who certainly enrich our community. Our nation would not be what it is today without those who step up, raise their right hand to take that oath to support and defend the Constitution.
Veterans Day to me is a day where I can reflect and remember the hard work and sacrifice that our brave men and women in our armed forces have paid to fight for our freedoms and for our liberties so that we can continue to enjoy our great country. Just a heartfelt thank you to our brave men and women in uniform. As a veteran spouse, I know firsthand the sacrifices that are made, missed holidays, missed birthdays, but certainly we appreciate all of the sacrifices that you've made to keep us safe and again, to continue to preserve our freedoms and liberties.
Veterans Day is kind of my life to some degree, not having served, but because I grew up as an Army brat. You know, my grandfather was a doughboy in World War I. My father was career military, rising from enlisted World War II through Vietnam, retiring as a colonel. My brother, 30 years of service, also a colonel. My other brother served in the Air Force for a while. We've got a rather extensive military history. Veterans Day means a lot more than just my father and those who served. It also, to me, encompasses the families. You know, how could you have Veterans Day and not celebrate the contribution of the family at home? I'd like to thank all the veterans on Veterans Day, you know, regardless of where or when they served. It could have been a non-combat role, it could have been a combat role. This country wouldn't be what it is today without their sacrifices, without their service, and without, you know, in many cases, the ultimate sacrifice. We owe everything we have in this country to our veterans, from 1776 forward.
Veterans Day to me means remembrance. So it's the one day of the year where we get to pause, reflect, and go back and just understand all of these wonderful opportunities we have in America. And why do we have that? Because of our veterans. Service is important for everything that we've done for this country. And I just want to thank every veteran that's serving now and served before. Thank you. So I just want to thank every veteran out there for all the time they've given to whatever branch of service, whatever deployment, whatever non-deployment, just your time in general for serving this country and protecting us.
Veterans Day means to me is one, uplifting, highlighting, and really celebrating, commemorating the veterans in our community. You know that as a community that's sandwiched between Fort Belvoir in the north and Marine Base Quantico in the south, we have a huge, great diverse set of veterans that live and work in Prince William County. You know, many of them are here on deployment. They're not here by choice, but then once their deployment and their assignments are over, many of them decide to stay because they fall in love with our community and they set up roots. But number two, I also think about the veterans in my life. You know, whether it's my great-grandfather who was drafted into World War I, but also my wife. I'm a military spouse. My wife served 2 tours in Iraq. Thank you so much for your service.
Veterans Day in our house is always an exciting time to reflect and to think about how we serve in our house. I'm a retired Marine Corps wife, and my husband did 23 years in the United States Marine Corps. It really allows me to think about people like my father-in-law, who was a first-class private and the Army. It makes me think about my dad who was in the Air Force. It makes me reflect on my godfather, who was Master Gunnery Sergeant General Evans, who was in the Marine Corps. So it also taught me about the service that our son, my baby boy, who was a first lieutenant in the United States Navy. And it makes me think about my godson, Morris Biggers. But lastly, but most of all, it makes me think about the life that I had with my husband, Cozy Eugene Bailey. It takes a special individual to understand that to whom much is given, much is required. I want to say to all of our veterans, thank you.
Veterans Day is an opportunity for all of us to say thank you to our veterans and our service members who have served and are serving our country, to give your life willingly and to give your service at the expense of even sometimes your family is something that no one can say thank you enough toward. I just want to tell our veterans, particularly those here in Prince William County, that thank you for their service not only to our country but also to our community. Prince William County has thousands of veterans living as our neighbors, our family, our church members, and what they've done for our country can't be replicated, and we really appreciate their service and for protecting all of us.